I'll show you the whole piece. I'll move the camera, but I just want to share what the story is here. About 2 years or 3 years ago, I was at a thrift store with another artist named Krista McAvina out in Silver Lake. And this canvas, which is a heavy duty, inch thick, expensive canvas, but it was painted this bright yellow, and it's 30 inches by 30 inches, and it was only $15 in the thrift shop. So I said, I'm going to buy that. I'll sand it down. I'll re-gesso it. I mean, paint it white, and I'll do something on it because it's just too good of a deal to pass up. And then it sat in the studio all that time. And I'd see it and I go, there was almost like I should do something with this now. But remember, we're not going to act on should. Should, actually, the etymology of the word should is to scold. So we're not going to act from should, okay? So I knew, okay, I'm not going to force myself to do anything on it. But just like Jody, I had this, I loved it, because it's a super thick with thick stretcher bars on the back. I mean, it's like, it's a super duper cool canvas, but it was yellow. Then, just about a month and a half ago, I was at a thrift store in Ventura, and I don't know if you're familiar with, you probably have seen them, but lenticular photographs, they were popular in the 60s and 70s, and they're like this heavy plastic, and it has like ridges in the plastic. And if it's a photograph, it's three-dimensional. Some images, if you look at them from different angles, they move. So we're kind of familiar with those. Well, this is a 12 by 14 inch lenticular photo of horses, I guess from the 60s. And it was $1.99 in a frame at the thrift shop. And you know what? I didn't know what I was going to do with this thing, but I knew I loved it. And for the past, I guess, year or so, I've been going to this horse sanctuary where, you know, I learned to groom the horses and give them love and stuff with my wife. So I've become very like fond of horses lately. So I was like, what am I going to do with this thing though? Like, I can't draw on it or whatever. So I just threw it at my studio until, like I mentioned, a few weeks ago, for some reason, I pulled the yellow canvas out, I plopped it on the bench, and something told me, take this lenticular, I don't know where this comes from, take this lenticular heavy plastic photo of these horses out of the frame, and I started placing it on the yellow. And because the blue is kind of on the opposite side of it's a complementary color to yellow. I was like, wait a minute, this looks good on here. Am I just gonna place this on here and not do anything? But like Jody, I had no idea what I was gonna do with either one of these things. They started to become almost too precious to touch, that kind of weird thing. And then I should do something. I had to let go of all of that until the time was right. And then eventually what happened, I'm going to move the camera, hang on, let's see. So what eventually happened was, you could see, I decided to draw these two horses, very crude, on it. And then I placed that, I used adhesive, of course, to get that on there. And, you know, I love this thing because of the whole journey I went on. I love the whole journey. Remember, and I love it just to look at. And I don't care. And this is how you know it's intuitive, because I don't care if anyone else loves it. I have made so many things in the past where I needed, well, what do you think? Do you think it's any good? When it's intuitive, it's like you're so in touch with yourself. That whole journey I just shared with you, that's the art. This is just the souvenir from that whole wonderful like rock concert I was at. This is the souvenir. This the art isn't just this and is this like the art was that whole journey.